Dreamers.
Hi, Caviar Dreamers. Checking in.
We are here for another week with another fabulous guest, and a guest that is from an industry we both started in.
Yes.
And know well.
The fashion industry. Her name's Arianne Elmy.
She is an amazing designer, and she actually went to a school that I was dying to go to that I did not get into at Central St. Martin's.
Don't be so
in
hard
London.
on yourself. It's very hard to get into, Lex.
I know. Well, Stella McCartney went there, but also when I was going to school back in the day, which was and
Central St. Martin's is the high-end fashion school in London.
Yeah, like Alexander McQueen, Matthew Williamson, Stella McCartney. Those are designers that came as out of Central St. Martin's, and the fashion industry was a very different place. I went to Leeds School of Art and Fashion, but at the time I was going to school, one designer set another designer's car on fire to burn down their collection because they were afraid of them as competition.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It was cutthroat, and I thought that I wanted to do what Arianne Elmy does. I thought I wanted my own label. I'd been sketching in notebooks since I was a little girl. Always, and it's funny, always co-ords, palazzo pants with matching print tops.
And she does everything matching. Her fabrics are magnificent. They're very upholstery-like, truthfully, which I love. It's just like, it's the unexpected. And who wants to look like everybody else? And when I saw one of her dresses, I saw it on someone, I was like, I have got to have that. So I hunted her down.
Yeah.
And I got myself a piece.
And it is magnificent.
Yeah, so I was very intrigued by her. And I was like, how'd she start her business? Where does she get her inspiration from? I think she's inspiring to other people. She's a young designer. I think she's going to be super famous.
Me too.
I mean, listen, she already dresses so many famous people. And I just think it's only going to get better from here. And I want everyone to learn about her, because I think she's going to be inspirational to anybody who's starting their business.
Definitely.
Yeah, so let's have her come on in. Hi, Arianne.
Hi.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say we're very excited. We're here with Arianne Elmy because not only am I obsessed with her clothes, she's a talented designer. I was following her on Instagram, and I was like, I have to have everything that she makes. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I just want to say you inspire every kind of designer, young designers, women. So that's why it's important to have you on this podcast.
Yes, and I love also that not only did you go to school in New York, you also went to Central St. Martin's, which is super impressive. I know because I was a reject from Central St. Martin's, so I couldn't go. But that's incredible. How did you come to study in London also?
I think I just, everyone hears about Central St. Martin's, and I wanted to go there for a little bit. I learned a lot of concept creation there, and just how to come up with ideas, because they have a totally different way of thinking than a New York design school.
So just tell me, growing up, what inspired you? Did you always want to be a designer? Where did this stem from, your creativity?
My mom drew a bit, and I found her old sketchbooks, I remember, and from when she was in high school and college, and she had a lot of fashion drawings. So that really inspired me. And then I was always into fine art, and I loved shopping and clothes, so I just kind of combined them. I remember someone's mom mentioned to me, oh, you could be a fashion designer, and I looked into it, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to do. So from a very young age, I knew this was my path, which was pretty lucky, since a lot of people take a while to find what they want.
Yes. Now tell me, what do you consider your signature style? Because I feel like I could consider, I do think you're a vintagey type of glam, your fabrics that you use, it does have a timeless quality, but but there is it's very statement-y. So what do you consider your style?
Well, I love the Hollywood Regency area.
Hollywood Regency. Yes.
Yeah. And I love Jonathan Adler, you have.
Yeah.
I love Palm Springs. So yeah, I'm a really over the top person, and all my clothes try to be over the top, nothing's really subtle. So we have the big sleeves, just making everything you walk in the room, someone knows you're there.
Yes, I love that. So just really statement pieces. What designers inspired you? Who did you look to for inspiration?
When I was growing up, I liked the more conceptual designers like Iris Van Herpen. a lot. And I worked for 3S4, which is not as known, but they do a lot of Bjork's clothing. They did Lady Gaga's clothing. So I did their patterns, which was really cool. And like Bjork would come into the studio and she'd be like, can you fix this for me? So that was so fun. And then I also worked for Style La Pointe, which is more like sleek. But I would say 3S4 was more my style and really inspired me. Cyrus a lot.
I think that's a big misconception, that people don't understand how important the cut of a garment is and just what a skill cutting a pattern is.
Yeah. So I obviously know how to pattern, how to sew, and I think there's a lot of designers that, you know, they want a fashion brand, but they didn't go to school for it, and then trying to design stuff and being like, okay, well, you want it to look like this, but you have to put a seam there. So that's been a big advantage, just knowing all that and knowing how I want something to fall and how I want something to look, and, you know, how something can be changed so it does have the right design that I had envisioned.
When did you realize that you wanted to go out on your own? How long have you been doing your own line?
Honestly, I never really wanted to work for someone else. So I worked for Style La Pointe for like a year, and then at the same time, I started my own thing. I just knew right away, like I never take direction really from anyone, and I just knew I never really wanted to work for anyone else. So yeah, that was like in 2014 after I graduated college. So it was like right away.
Wow.
And it was around the same time that like Instagram was like becoming a thing, and like stylists were finding, I was posting my graduation work, which was a lot more conceptual than it is now. And a lot of stylists were finding me and pulling the clothes, and it just sort of snowballed. I mean, I didn't even know what a stylist was back then, or that I could so easily get my clothes on so many different high profile people.
And so many amazing people have worn your clothes. So tell us a few.
Mariah Carey wore it in her last music video. Lil Kim wears the coats, and she gives me shout outs on Instagram, which is so cool. Katy Perry wore it on American Idol. Brandy wore the yellow dress. Jazmine Sullivan wore a few pieces. She just won, I think, a Grammy. I mean, there's been so many. We've done customs for Cyrus in her concert with Katy Perry. Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, there's literally just so many. It's so cool.
Is there anyone that's like your ultimate wish list, like who you wish would wear your clothes?
I've always really wanted Miley Cyrus to wear my clothes, and she's pulled a lot, but she hasn't worn yet. So for years she's been pulling, and I know her stylist, but nothing has worked yet.
Yeah, she does have amazing style. I mean, even her home is so incredible.
It is.
Yeah.
And her mom's an interior designer. Her mom designed her home, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, which is great.
Like the celebrities that do wear the brand really emulate like all our values too, which is cool. And she just, you know, she doesn't, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this podcast.
It's okay. Yes, you can.
Okay. She just doesn't give a fuck, and she just does her own thing, and she's herself, and I really love that.
Yeah, and I think that is somebody who is has an individual and makes it their own, because your pieces are so unique. Do you show at any shows?
I used to do New York Fashion Week, and we would have all the press there and everything, but it just got to be too much. So I wanted to concentrate on less pieces and really figure out how to market them, cater more to the customer. So that's what we have done, and that's what's really helped expand the business. It's sort of like moving away from the traditional approach.
And I know that the Good Luck dress is a signature piece to your collection, and that's going to be launching on Shopbop right now, right?
Yeah.
What's the story of the Good Luck dress?
Yes, I love that. What made you call it? Yes. What is the story behind it?
Well, I made it during the pandemic, and honestly, you know, I had been going the traditional route with my brand, you know, trying to do the New York Fashion Week stuff and huge collections, and I was just like tired. I was broke, and I made the dress, and I was like, let me call it the Good Luck dress, because I need some good luck right now. Like, it's the pandemic hit, like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And at the same time, I was learning how to do marketing myself, and it just like exploded. I had never really marketed my clothes, like paid marketing. It was all organic. And that's when I started, and the dress really was good luck.
Yeah, I mean, every time I wear that dress, people go crazy.
I live
People,
for that dress.
people die for that dress. It's so easy to wear. It looks great on everybody. It's size inclusive. Anybody who wears it looks unbelievably amazing in it. That's what's so fabulous about it. And we have so many fabrics.
A range of ages that wear it. Like we'll have a girl that's like 21 wear it, but then we'll have like a grandma wear it who's like 70, and it looks so good on both bodies. And there's just like so many different vibes you can pull off with that dress. Like you can make it look classier, or you can make it look like more a party dress and wear it off the sleeve, and wear like high heels with it.
I know. So I think it looks like. Tell me about your use of fabrics, because I feel like your clothing doesn't use a traditional garment fabric. They're so unique. They're almost like upholstery, some of them, which I love.
Yeah. I mean, I have a big love for interior design, and the whole like 60s and 70s, and I think they used a lot of fabric like that then. We have a lot of our fabric made in Turkey, and they're big on upholstery. So yeah, I mean, traditional fabrics, they get boring, like I want to do something different. And that the fabrics really help make that statement. Like, for example, this fabric we engineered, like it's like I'm gonna come close to the camera, but it's like a cotton and then this like crazy woven design in it. And it's like embellished and like fringes. So we worked on that for a while. The fabrics do take a while to develop, just like the testing and then making sure that they're wearable, and how can we dry clean it or wash it. This one actually you can just throw in the wash, which is crazy.
Wow. Oh, so you design all your own fabrics, so they're unique to your brand.
Yeah, so the mill will kind of tell us what they can do, and then we'll design around that. Like for example, they presented this to us and it was on like this, sorry to them, but like this gross like plasticky material, and I was like, no, it'd be so cool if we could like weave this into cotton. So we had to work with them for probably like a year figuring out how to do that. The Good Luck dresses, we design the colors and everything and figure out, how to help weave the colors so that they actually work together. So yeah, so it's collaborative.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So where is you have your own factory, your own studio, your own sewing room? Tell us about that. Because listen, you had to do that all on your own. And people are always, when people write to us, they're like, how did you know to do all that, to start that? I mean, because that's really very impressive. I mean, everyone's always like, I want to start my own business. How did you know to do all of that?
I think because I worked for other brands and they produced in New York, like Sally Point produced in New York. And so I'd go to all her factories and help with production. I just, started meeting different people in the industry and was like, okay, what factory is good that you use, and tested a lot of different ones out. We are using a factory that's like 2 blocks from our studio here in the Garment District. They sew the Rose stuff, they sew Nilly Laton stuff, and it's an all-women factory. It's so fun to go to. I think just working for other brands helped me learn, the industry, but it is hard, and you do have to kind of really network and meet different people because it's word of mouth. It's not like you're gonna Google, best New York factory, because the best New York factory doesn't have a website. It's very old school. That's
true. What challenges have you faced? People think like designers are very wealthy and it's this glamorous business. It is such hard work, and it's like grassroots, and you're working late hours and the funding of it. I mean, this isn't like, all like, just runway in a glamorous lifestyle. So
yeah, when I started my brand, I was working like 7 days a week. I started from I had like a 2-bedroom, and 1 bedroom was my office and 1 bedroom was my bedroom. So I worked and lived in the same area. I mean, even though like these big celebrities were wearing my stuff, like Mariah Carey was wearing my stuff, like I said, like I was poor. And I had to like learn the marketing and figure it out. I mean, but it was really hard. Like I didn't have, money in the beginning. And it's sort of just started to take off in the last few years. I didn't really have help in terms of like employees or anything. It was just me. I just recently in the last like 2 years hired employees, and it's an all women team too, which is cool.
Oh, we love that. Us too. We're an all women team. What made you keep going? Were there ever times you're like, oh my God, I want to throw in the towel, even though I love it, I want to like, you know,
yeah,
freak out.
like,
were there ever despair?
Still now there's times that I want to throw in the towel. I mean, like seriously, I don't know what made me keep going. I just knew, you know, I didn't want to work for anyone else, and I wanted to make this happen. Like I've never given up on anything in my life, and the thought of giving up like just like makes me sick. So
no,
like
I know the feeling. Yes.
So even there were times when I was like, okay, you know what, I gotta give up, I gotta get a new job. So I'd be looking for a new job, but then I would end up working on my brand instead of applying to the jobs. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get a job if I keep doing this. And I just kind of I kept going. I don't know. I couldn't give up. Like some things you just like can't give up on.
Listen, I agree with you. I totally get it. It's a lot. And I feel like, you know, it's the hustle factor. It's like when you have so much passion for what you do. Do you still love it after all these years?
I think I love it more now than I did in the beginning, because the beginning was so hard. You know, you almost start to hate your passion because you're just doing it 24/7 and it's so much work and you're so tired. But now that I have more time to step back and we're actually profitable, it becomes more enjoyable. And that the fact that I can take, you know, a vacation, like the whole company's not going to fall apart,
Yes.
is a little bit more relaxing.
Yes.
Now, when you started to expand your team, because I think that's a very pivotal point in so many entrepreneurs' business, like that's the scary point, like relinquishing control to other people and feeling like if you do, your business might fall apart, but if you don't, you can't grow. Like how did you know when was the right time, and how did you go about expanding your team?
I mean, I just needed more help. I mean, for example, all the sales were coming in, and like my dad's an accountant, but he's, no offense to him, he's very unorganized. He doesn't know small businesses, and it was a mess. And so I got a bookkeeper, and like I never imagined that she would help me as much as she did, and just the cash flow and things that I'm not good at, like financial stuff. So just like having her there was just pivotal in expansion, because then I knew like, okay, I could spend this much money and we can get another employee, and I just needed help. But there's definitely, you know, I had people where they were more work than they were help. So you have to make sure it's someone that is quick and they're smart and they can learn fast. So that's really important. But I don't think I had a hard time relinquishing control. I think it's just about finding the right people, because the right people can really, you know, help bring the business bigger. And it becomes almost something bigger than yourself. Like it's not just your brand anymore. Like everyone's part of the team.
What is your goal? Like to sell more retailers? I know you said you're selling Shop Up. What are the retailers are your dream retailers? Or are you just like, I like selling directly to people?
I actually kind of like selling directly to people. You know, with Shop Up, it's great, but there's so many rules and there's deadlines. You know, if we mess up a deadline, it's okay. We tell our customers, hey, we're not going to make it. Like, sorry, we're running late. With Shop Up, if we don't make it, you know, we get a huge charge. So it's much more stressful. Also, there's a better markup, of course, on our direct to consumer. I'm so grateful for Shop Up, and I want to get in more stores. Like, you know, Saks would be great.
Yeah, I could see you in Saks.
Yeah.
I could absolutely see you in Saks. And what about like an Intermix?
Yes, Intermix would be really good too. I think our stuff would work amazing there.
No, I could absolutely see you in an Intermix.
Yeah, I love Intermix. I've always shopped there. So yeah, that would be great. And then, but the overall goal would just be to keep expanding, have more female employees, and I really want to do more work for women. I really want to make sort of like a meeting maybe once a month and have all our customers come to the meeting and bring on different high profile women that they wouldn't have otherwise had access to. For example, one of my friends she's older, but she was the president of Planned Parenthood for like 20 years.
Wow.
So just having, that would be so cool to have my longtime customers have this meeting and be able to ask her questions. And, you know, even like if I had a meeting, having my bookkeeper on and like how to, you know, strategize your finances. Cause even she's taught me like different finance things that I had no idea about. And I see a lot of women, even our customers, like they'll use their husband's credit card, like with his name, like everything. And I'm like, you know, women need to get their finances in order, their own finances, not their husbands. So I think there's a lot more work I can do for women while having my brand, because I'm connecting so many women to each other. It's so cool. Like even on our Facebook, like one customer will post a picture in their dress and then all the other customers will comment how good they look. And sometimes they even exchange info and become friends. So we're really connecting women to each other and just helping educate and moving women forward.
I think that's great. I think that's
love
so
that,
important.
because you understand the power of networking and just how important it is. And I love that you can pay that forward to like other people who may have dreams also, like the customers out there that would love to start their own business, but they're too afraid and could be inspired by your stories. I love that.
Yes, I do. And I think that is a lot of women sometimes don't want to take the leap of faith or don't know what to do next and are concerned about the money. And, you know, I think a lot of people think that everything's an overnight success, and it's not. Nothing's an overnight success.
No, it's not.
I think women also, we do just naturally worry more, and we are less risk averse, let's say, in general than men. So it is like, we do take things really seriously. So I think that's what makes it hard for women also to take the risks, because you do really, you know, you really need that safety net, but you have to take the risks. And if you can mitigate the risks with like an amazing team, great advice, knowing what you're good at and not good at, then, you know, nothing should stop us.
What would you tell someone who wants to start their own business? What would you tell a budding entrepreneur?
So I always have the same advice, and it's actually going back to what we just talked about and how women don't take risks. I read this article, and it's, I don't know the percentage, but men 90 whatever percent of the time will just go for it. They'll take the risk, where women strategize, they think about it. And so when you buy our clothes, there's like a little GIF on the bottom and it says, just go for it. And that's like, if you're going to start a company, you just got to do it. Because if you sit there and you think about it, you're going to start doubting yourself. You're going to start thinking of the reasons why it's not going to work. You just got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah,
So true.
I absolutely agree with you. We ask a lot of people who come on the podcast these questions. What would you consider was your big girl panty moment? Like you were like, oh my God, this is my sink or swim. I got to pull up my big girl panties.
I mean, I guess just as we started growing, it's scary. You know, it's scary moving out from your home office to, you know, a big office in the garment district. Like, it's scary. It's like, oh my God, what if all of a sudden the sales just stop and like I can't pay my rent? So, I mean, that was really scary, but it's like I had to, you know, calm myself down, be like, no, like what if actually sales get too big that you outgrow this office?
Yeah.
So I try to put a positive spin on everything, like, cause I have a lot of doubts. So you have to trick your mind. You have to say the good what ifs.
That's important.
It's so funny. I saw an interview with Jennifer Lopez recently. It was like an old interview that they put up, and she was basically like, every morning you have to get up and you have to pep talk yourself. You have to be like, this is going to work. This is going to happen. We're going to go for it. And you can have no doubt in your mind.
I agree with that, because I always say, this leads to the next question, but I say I'm 50% delusional, 50% determined, because I have to believe my own hype. I have to hype myself up, because if you don't, who else will? So if I say I'm 50% delusional, meaning in a good way, like if I don't believe my own self, what are your percentages? What do you contribute your success to?
I mean, I think I'm actually very similar to you in that. I would say like 50% determination, and I don't know what the other 50% is, but I don't give a fuck. And I know I'm going to make it work. Like, I believe in myself more than anyone else. Like, it's going to work.
I love that. Let me just ask you, are your parents European? What's your background?
No, they're not.
Where are you
I
from?
mean, I'm just born in Connecticut, so nothing, nothing exotic.
What's your ethnicity?
Like half Eastern European, half British.
Half Eastern European, half
I think,
British.
yeah, I think my grandpa was born in England, and then I think my mom's dad was born in England.
And where in Connecticut did you grow up?
Like this small, like farm town outside of Fairfield.
And did you, growing up, were you like, I want to get out of here? Or did you love where you grew up? I'm just curious.
I think I liked it. At points, I wanted to get out of there, but also my dad actually worked in the city, so he commuted. And so we went to the city a lot. But it's so funny, when I was growing up and I'd go to the city, I was like, oh, I can never live here. Like, I would just feel so dirty. And like, couldn't wait to come home to a yard. And I still kind of miss that. Like, I would love to get a house with a yard, which sounds so simple, but when you live in the city, it's not that simple.
No, I know.
Especially after the last few years in the city with the pandemic, I'm sure it felt very suffocating. I lived in the city right before the pandemic hit, so I felt very lucky to have that breathing space.
I know. I would love to one day just like live on a farm, but have a full staff, because I don't want to have to do like the farm work.
Just look at the fabulous farm. I get it.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you, so do you design twice a year the way a lot of designers do?
So that's what I was doing, and it was not sustainable mentally, physically, financially. And so I just now release, honestly, I kind of just do whatever I want and release a few pieces here and there. I don't really have a timeline. Now that we're getting into more stores, I'm going to have to figure out sort of a timeline. But even when I worked with Shop Bop, like I showed them what we have, and they were very receptive to it. I think with the whole sustainability factor, people are moving away, pushing out so many different items at once. And, you know, they're like, it's okay that I have the good luck dress for a few years, like the yellow one.
I think you have that forever. I think it's timeless and seasonless.
If you think about DPF's wrap dress, like
exactly.
Time. I think also the old mentality of the fashion industry with like releasing collections, and you go to the stores in August and you see winter coats. It's not sustainable in today's world, because years ago people were planning for vacations months in advance, and they would know the budget for their winter wardrobe, and ladies would go to shop and buy one coat for the season and 5 dresses and a sensible, lovely pair of heels, and you know, they would have all their parties planned in advance. We have become the most instantly gratified, impatient, you know, now shoppers ever. I still want a bathing suit in August. I don't want a winter coat. I want a winter coat when it's cold, and I want it now.
Yes,
and
it's true.
Get it now. So I don't think it's truthfully. I think the whole industry has to change the way that it does to fit the new shopper.
And we kind of also make things as it sells in a way. So like sometimes people have to wait like a few weeks for our dresses, because we'll run out of one size, because we don't like to overproduce. You know, it's not sustainable for us. It's not sustainable for the planet. That's really helped keep us, you know, growing, because we don't have all this extra inventory.
I think it's also, there's nothing wrong with making people wait.
Your stuff is worth waiting. Then it makes people want it more. That's what
the velvet rope technique.
Yes. Tell me, what pieces are you designing now? What are you excited for that's coming? Is there anything you could tease that's coming soon that I'm gonna have to get?
Yeah, actually we're launching one today. Hold on, let me get it.
Okay, good. Excited.
Sneak peek.
So we're launching this whole new colorway.
Oh, I love it.
For Shop Bop, and we did the short sleeve for them. So we're also selling on our website.
Beautiful.
So and then this dress is coming soon. It's currently being made. It's like more flowy version of the black dress. And then I'm so excited for the top I'm wearing. I don't have the matching pants, but it comes with matching pants.
Oh, that's what I want. That's so me. Let's both. I love it.
And, you know, you can just wear it to the beach and then to dinner. So I love that. I love that it's like cotton and it's lightweight. But then I wore it today with jeans. So it's like, you know, it's so versatile. I'm really excited for this one.
I'm
It's
very
like me.
excited to
I
get
think you
the
should
pants.
be doing trunk shows in the Hamptons. Too.
Yes.
Do you ever do any trunk shows?
I've never done a trunk show, but
You
maybe
should
in the
do a
future.
trunk
I've
show.
had a lot of people mention that.
Yeah, I think this for sure. do
Your
some
styles,
Hamptons
yeah,
trunk
do a ham
shows.
for sure. I agree. It's very
I'm kind of like terrified of, we have a lot of customers that want to like come in and meet me, and I'm like semi-terrified of it because I'm like, what if I'm not as good as they imagine, you know?
I know, I know you
so
are.
you have imposter syndrome, which
We
is
talk about.
very successful women have imposter syndrome, so that's good.
Yes, no, I think it's great. I think you should absolutely, you're right, Lexi, she should do a trunk show in like a Southampton or somewhere. I just think your stuff is so phenomenal. I must get that little pants of it. Is that the only little pants that you have?
Yes, right now, but I would love to do more. I love the matching looks.
Yeah,
That's
we
my
love a
favorite.
coordinate. We love that. We love all over matchy. Well, Arianne Elmy.
And the pants are like really like oversized, but also fitted in the right areas. So it's so fun.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. Tell everybody where they can find you.
On our website, www.arianne-elmy.com. And then also on Shop Bop soon.
Okay, great.
And hopefully socks and Intermix soon.
Yes, exactly.
Manifesting that.
Putting it out there. No, I think you're so charming, so fabulous, and inspirational to so many people who want to just go for their dreams, their passion. You're so talented. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I
It was
can't
so
wait
fun.
to do all the
Thank
great
you.
stuff you're doing next.
Thank you. All right. Well, have a good day.
Thanks so much, and
You
we'll
too.
talk soon.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Arianne Elmy, I love her style.
She really has that vintage socialite fabulous style, and she is so adorable. I think it's so sweet that she is nervous to meet her customers, because I think it's funny when brands are like signature owned by one person, people do get in their head, you know, like the Wizard of Oz almost. Do you know what I mean?
No, I understand. Everything she does is statement-y, which I love. You go in a room, people know you're wearing it.
I love a good sleeve.
I
and
do
she
too.
has a good sleeve.
She has beautiful sleeves. Everybody looks amazing. But I love that she has such a point of view. She doesn't want to work for someone else. But I also love that, you know, she figured it out. And it's true. You can't Google a factory, the best factory. You do, if you're a designer, you do have to work for someone else first. Sorry, people.
You do. You have to cut. We have to cut your teeth somewhere and get to know the business, because I think the fashion industry is like the biggest misconception ever, that it's going to be fabulous and you're going to have this glamorous life and you're going to produce these collections and so
I know, and it's not.
It's
It's just not that. I mean, I worked in the garment center a long time, and I worked for many other people, and it's just not like that. But the beauty is, she got famous on Instagram at first, and that's the way she did, and she's been selling directly to the consumers online, and it's amazing. And then, you know, only now, years later, she started in 2014, and she's selling in other stores, other retailers.
I think it was also very poignant what she said, you know, in the pandemic, she was broke, which is obviously very recent, and the world stopped. And even though, like you see Mariah Carey in her dresses, you know, she was back again at the beginning of her business, like, oh my God, I have to figure this out again. So in business, people's misconception is that, you know, the road is always an upward climb, and you
it's
reach
not.
the peak.
And there's highs and lows, and that's what happens. And that doesn't mean that you're not smart or you're not successful. That's business.
The
highs and lows
of your business can be the thing that helps you figure out how to get to the next high, and that high can be higher than ever before. You know?
So don't be tough on yourselves. Again, you know, just go for it. Like she said, just go for it. And I love it. That's great advice. And please check out her website, Arianne Elmy.
Yeah, follow her on Instagram.
Follow her on Instagram. Amazing style. Her clothes are sustainable.
Women-owned and businesses.
It's so fun. Such great pieces to make memories in. Timeless. You can wear them all year round. I love them. Every time I wear an Arianne Elmy dress, everyone's like, "Oh my God, where'd you get that?" They're amazing pieces.
They are beautiful.
So caviar dreamers, I hope you enjoyed this. We just love bringing you people who really have chased their dreams and made it reality and come true. So you can find me at The Real Margaret Josephs.
You can find me at The Life of Mrs. B, and every second Wednesday we have episodes coming out, Caviar Dreams, Tuna Fish Budget, and that's Instagram. YouTube is the same, and you can find us anywhere you listen to your podcast.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, I'm wearing an Arianne Elmy top. Arianne Elmy top. I mean, I keep saying Arianne. Arianne. Elmy. It's French.
It's beautiful. Okay. Bonjour.
Bonjour.